Hello and welcome to Power Skills with Janna. I'm Janna Jones, your leadership development specialist, coach, and mentor, here to help you build and refine the skills that matter the most. Today, we are tackling a topic that many new leaders face, but don't often talk enough about, or consider it enough, actually. It's that transition from peer into leader. I often get called in by senior leaders at the 6-month mark when they feel that their newly appointed supervisors are really floundering in the role. I usually have two questions. Firstly, did they want to be a leader or display leadership skills before the appointment? Most of this is often met with, well, they were the best at their job in their team. Just so we're clear, that is not a reason to offer someone a leadership role or to step up into a leadership role yourself. And sometimes the new supervisor doesn't even want it, but no one ever actually asked them. They were gifted this promotion that they didn't necessarily have any interest in. Some people actually do just want to be the best at what they do, and that is perfectly okay as well. Even I've been offered a really senior role that I quickly realized and voiced that I didn't actually want. It was clear it came with golden handcuffs, and I wasn't interested in that at that point in my life, and so I turned it down. Know that, of course, it was a tough conversation with my leader, as they were really enthusiastic about offering it to me, but not everyone has that luxury of turning it down either. If they don't want it, they might actually need the money. So my second question is always, so what have you done to set them up for success? And this one in particular is always met with blank looks. Moving from a peer role into a leadership position is a huge milestone, but it can be one of the most challenging transitions in a professional career. You're suddenly responsible for leading and guiding the very people that you once worked alongside as a peer. It's also something that doesn't usually surface in leadership programs because by that point, you're already in a leadership role, so job done, right? But it's really not. Even as you transition into more senior roles where you're now leading those who used to be your peers, balancing those new responsibilities, setting boundaries, and earning respect in a leadership capacity while maintaining positive relationships can be an awful lot to navigate. So, today we are going to try and fill a little bit of that gap and dive into some practical strategies to help you make this transition successfully and with confidence. So, let's start with why this transition is so unique, because moving from peer to leader requires a mental shift, not just in how others see you, but how you also see and present yourself. You're no longer one of the team. You are also responsible for guiding, managing, and often evaluating your team's performance. So, why is this shift so challenging? Well, your relationship with your former peers has changed, and most people don't take the time to really recognize and to acknowledge that. You are now in a position where the need to balance being approachable and maintaining friendships while also establishing authority and respect as a leader. It is natural to feel a little bit of conflict between wanting to be friendly and also needing to lead. Embracing your new role starts with recognizing that it is different, and that's okay. The relationships will inevitably change, but they don't have to disappear. It's more of an evolution. Let's explore some ways that you can manage that evolution more effectively. So, as a leader, you'll need to establish new expectations with your team members, many of whom might still see you as a peer when you start off. One of your first steps to successful leadership is defining your own boundaries and being clear about your new role. So, how can you do this? Well, being transparent is really important. Openly communicating with your team early on, discussing your new role and responsibilities openly, acknowledging that things are different, but reinforcing that you're committed to the team's success just as you were as a team member. I remember when I was coaching a new leader who shared that they were experiencing a sense of shame at how they felt they were treating their team when they'd moved into the leadership role. They could feel themselves dipping down too low, and they knew that it was being experienced as micromanaging at best and a lack of trust at worst. As a team member in this incredibly high performing team, They knew that trust was the key, that they had each other's back. But as a leader, they were really struggling to work at the right level. It wasn't about trust at all. I asked, "So what have you told them?" "What? No way. Wait," they said. "Could I actually tell them that?" Absolutely. It also depends on how you share it, but it's important that you do so with a level of ownership and accountability in some way, with that sense of authority in which you intend to continue. They gained absolute respect and support with their team with that one conversation by sharing that they had realized they'd been dipping down and micromanaging their team, and they really didn't want to do that. They, of course, knew that they were a high performing team that were excellent at their jobs. They were just trying to navigate this new role and what that meant. They were committed to the success of the team. Then they requested their support in two important ways. Firstly, by asking the team to support them with their commitment. They asked, "If you see me dipping down when it's really unnecessary, please let me know." And secondly, requesting that they come to them openly with any problems, challenges, or improvement ideas, as they really wanted to be a leader who welcomed others' insights. Transparency and authenticity here are key, as long as you don't fall into the trap of unloading all of your stuff on your team. Clarify your goals and vision. Share your goals and vision, the vision that you have for the team in particular, as well as your own expectations around work processes and communication. This will set the tone that you are there to lead, support, and guide. Define boundaries. Healthy boundaries are a key to building respect. You can still be friendly and approachable without blurring the lines of authority. For example, if you're now responsible for evaluating performance, make it clear that you are there to provide support and guidance and also help them to consider development opportunities while upholding the standards of your new position. Remember that you don't need to assert authority by distancing yourself. True authority comes from consistency, respect, and demonstrating your commitment to the team's success. In this new role, how you communicate will play a big part in setting the tone for your leadership. Good communication builds trust, and trust is absolutely critical when shifting from peer to a leadership role. So, what can you do? I will always say start with active listening. If you are leading the same people you used to work alongside, be open to listening to their insights and ideas. It shows that you still really value their contributions and helps to ease any initial awkwardness as well. Be open and transparent. When making decisions that affect the team, try to be as transparent as possible about your reasoning. You don't need to share every detail, but providing context can really help to build understanding and reduce any tensions. Stay humble. It's okay to acknowledge that you're learning too. If you make a mistake, it's okay to own it. Share your learnings. This vulnerability can actually strengthen your relationship with the team and also let them know that you only fail when you're unwilling to learn from it. Consider how you communicate openly, honestly, and frequently because transparency builds trust. And that trust will be the foundation for your success as a new leader. Managing relationships with colleagues who might also be your friends is often one of the toughest parts of moving from peer to leader. So let's consider how you might start to navigate this. Set the tone and lead by example. By showing respect and professionalism, you encourage the same in return. If you lead by example, your team will be more likely to follow suit. Make sure that you avoid favoritism. This is such a significant one because it's almost expected when someone shifts from peer to leader and they have closer relationships with other people in the team. Be mindful that you are treating everyone on the team fairly and consistently. It is natural to feel closer to some team members, especially when you worked alongside them so closely. But in your leadership role, it's important that your actions are seen as fair and objective. Invite participation and encourage open dialogue. Inviting your team to come to you if they feel uncomfortable or uncertain about anything related to the work. Let them know that you're open to having conversations that will help you both adjust to this new dynamic. And remember that an open door policy is only valid if you actually have time and space available in your calendar or your day to make yourself really available for your team. This comes up so often. People will say to me, yeah, but my team will come to me if they had a problem. I have an open door policy with them. I was like, great. When do you have time and space in your day to receive those concerns and considerations from your team? Oh. And then it dawns on them, an open door policy is only valid if you actually make time and space to make yourself available for your team for those concerns. Consider how you shift the focus to the team's goals and overall vision. This way, you're also able to reinforce you're leading in the best interest of everyone's success, not just your own. So you're making it more about the team now rather than individually. When you're stepping into a leadership role, especially among peers who have known you as an equal, building credibility is crucial. You want your team to feel confident in your ability to lead. So, how can you start to build your credibility as a leader? Well, make sure you are consistent. Showing up reliably and consistently is so incredibly important. Over time, consistency in your actions and decisions will help you to build trust and respect. Demonstrate competency. Take the time to familiarize yourself with the responsibilities of your new role and continually work on developing relevant skills. Demonstrating your competence and dedication will help your team to feel secure with you in this position. Seek feedback. As you navigate this new position, make sure that you're also seeking feedback, not just feigning competence. Seek mentorship or coaching from your leader once removed, your key stakeholders. Even asking your peers for feedback on you and even your team's performance can be really valuable. When you share your commitments with your team, consider asking them for any feedback at the end of your one-on-ones. One of the best leaders that I have ever worked with always ended our one-on-ones by asking if I had anything for them. Whether that was builds, ideas, questions, or feedback, they were always open and very receptive. Celebrate successes and even little wins together. Recognize team achievements and highlight individual contributions as well. Acknowledging your team's successes will just demonstrate your commitment to their growth and their success as well as your own. Building your credibility as a committed leader not happen overnight, unfortunately. It does take time and consistent action. And the more that you show and demonstrate your commitment and capability, the more respect and trust you will build as a leader. Lastly, remember that you are not alone in this transition. Many leaders have gone through the shift from peer to leader and can perhaps offer you some valuable insights and advice. Consider how you might find a mentor. If you don't already have one, seek out a mentor who can provide guidance specific to your leadership and offer an outside perspective on your transition. Stay open to feedback. As I mentioned, actively seeking feedback from both your leader and your team of peers. I mean, your team of peers rather than just your direct report, because this can help you to really understand how you're perceived and how you may want to adjust. Practice self-reflection. Make it a habit of reflecting on your experiences in the new role. Ask yourself what is working well, what are you struggling with, and what might you like to improve upon. Surrounding yourself with support and being willing to learn is key. With some time and guidance, you will most certainly continue to grow into the leader that your team needs. Now, transitioning from peer to leader is a journey that requires patience, self-awareness, and adaptability. It is okay to feel challenged as you step into this role, and don't expect perfection from yourself right away either. By setting clear expectations, communicating openly, balancing relationships with respect, building credibility, and seeking support, you can really navigate this transition more successfully. Leadership is also continuous as a learning process. It's not linear. And every step you take brings you closer to becoming the more effective, inspiring leader that you truly aim to be. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to me today with Power Skills with Janna. I hope this episode has given you some practical insights and tools to navigate that transition from peer to leader with confidence. Remember, every great leader started somewhere, and the transition is incredibly powerful as an opportunity to shape your own unique leadership style. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Power Skills with Janna for more discussions on leadership, growth, and skill building, and also personal development. As always, I would really love to hear your thoughts. Please connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn at Power Skills Development. or head to www.powerskillsdevelopment.com if you would like to work with me further. We do a whole heap of work in this area. Starting from internal leadership, personal leadership, and working our way out. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, keep growing, keep leaning into your leadership, and enjoy the rest of your week.